Hi, welcome back to the Crypto Dave YouTube channel. Today, just a very quick video about preparing for a potential Bitcoin hard fork. So, those of you who are kind of interested in keen on cryptocurrencies have probably been aware of the ongoing arguments and kind of debates about how to scale Bitcoin. So, at a very basic level, for the last couple of years there's been arguments about how to scale up Bitcoin in order to allow more transactions, and the upshot of this is that there's basically been two competing groups. On one side you've got the core developers who believe that something called segregated witness is the way forward, which will allow then small transactions to be kind of like siphoned off onto kind of side chains and other bits and bobs like that. What it opens up the possibility to develop that into the software in the future, I should say. And then on the other side, you've got a lot of the miners who basically just think that the block size should be increased. So it's currently 1 megabyte, and they think it should be increased immediately to kind of 2 megabytes, but probably up to kind of somewhere like in the region of 8 megabytes in the foreseeable future. And there's been a bit of a stalemate, so nothing's really happened. And the upshot of that is that you've seen either very high transaction fees on Bitcoin over the last sort of few months, or if you haven't paid such high fees, sometimes your transactions might have taken an awfully long time to process through the network or progress through the network. So I made a bit of a boo-boo a few months ago, and I sent someone some Bitcoin with quite a low transaction fee, and it took best part of 2 weeks to actually be included in a block and propagate through the network. So what is going to happen, basically at the end of May there was a general kind of consensus that SegWit would be implemented, but it's something called SegWit 2x, and this is also known as the New York Agreement. So basically the agreement was that SegWit would be implemented, but in addition to that, in 3 months time after SegWit's introduced, then the block size would also be doubled. So it will be doubled from 1 megabyte to 2 megabytes, and it was kind of a compromise between all the different kind of parties. Now if you look at kind of Bitcoin, there's some information on the website, and this is Bitcoin, this is the official website, but there's some information about potential network disruption. Now what is probably going to happen, or it looks almost certain to happen now, is that so there's a new initiative, and this is based on the big blockers really. So these are the people that just want block size increased, they don't want SegWit, and what they're going to do is basically hard fork Bitcoin on the 1st of August. So they will fork from the stable Bitcoin core, and they'll fork off a different network where the block sizes are big. So they're going to remove the SegWit kind of code, and they're just going to run basically Bitcoin as it runs at the moment, but with bigger block sizes. Now the upshot of that, if you've actually done any reading over in Reddit, if you look at the forward slash Bitcoin is basically the core sort of developers, or people that agree with the kind of core development team. And then if you actually go to /BTC, this is largely the big blockers, and if you have a read through just some of the posts and some of the the rhetoric on those, you'll see that there's really no love lost on either side. But the upshot for you or I, or most individuals, is that if you hold your Bitcoin on an exchange, or particularly something like Coinbase, you potentially stand to lose out, because when the chain splits into Bitcoin, Bitcoin will continue to kind of run, and then Bitcoin ABC, you will, whatever you own in Bitcoin, if you have access to the private keys, you will also own on Bitcoin ABC, because basically they take that point in time, and then the chains kind of like just split off, and that's a hard fork. So basically if you own 10 Bitcoins at the moment, after the hard fork, providing you have access to your private keys, you'll own 10 Bitcoins, and you'll also own 10 of these Bitcoin ABCs, or Bitcoin Cash it's called. Now I'll link this below, but this is quite a good overview here, and it basically says what each of the exchanges has said that they're going to do. So you can see here Coinbase is not going to follow a split kind of coin. They're not going to trade Bitcoin Cash. If you have your Bitcoin in Coinbase, you will not be able to get access to your Bitcoin Cash coins, whereas someone like kind of Bittrex are saying yes, sure, we might or might not have trading depending on what happens to Bitcoin Cash, whether it proves popular or not, but you will be able to get your coins off. But the upshot of this is really, if you have any amount of Bitcoin that you're not planning to trade in the immediate future, move it off the exchanges into a local wallet. I like Exodus. This is Exodus. I'll link to this below as well. I think it's a really good wallet because it supports multiple coins. It supports also Ethereum, Litecoin, Dash, and various others as well. But basically, you can get your private keys for this. So your Bitcoin exists in this, and then if Bitcoin Cash proves popular, you can download the wallet in the future, import your private keys, and get those kind of coins. So it's just a little bit of a warning. We're almost at the end of July now, so if you do have Bitcoin still on the exchanges, you might trust Bittrex to just give you both sets of kind of coins. But if you want to be sensible, and if you want to be as secure as you can, move all your Bitcoins off all the exchanges into a local wallet before this happens on the 1st of August. So that's it. I hope this has been helpful. I didn't want to make it too technical today, but if you have any questions, just ping me in the comments below. But if you actually go to the Reddit Bitcoin and the BTC Reddit subforums, you can read a lot more into this, and it's all over the news at the moment. So anyway, I hope that's been useful. Give me a thumbs up, and if you like the content, please subscribe. New videos coming in the next few days. Thanks very much. Bye bye.